agu numu na abasi
twa umanyaba wabi yafe komi twa umanyaba wabolo mawo hime misi owiche bi owi tolo odi echine koshe bibi echine makohu echine makoshe chata wonche bo hwe wonche bo ma wosan yati wobula yati wobole kutu wope wojibu wonjunu wo wodo ko jano ajo numo bo ma ko sifenye blue ocho ne woche mugo bachi mugo beje nugo ocho ye mina shi su ni masu na masu ashale tun bule to ogbi tun ne aga sina to sina te isene numo bo ma ko sife komi ke fokolo yi ke da woni me ke wona me ke wo kanso na me twa me samepi wo agada me ka me labaton Nungua mane ya shanti de eji Katamanso ta biso to na Katamanso ta lele wanu ye ko yo me wanu nuko isa enu wanu eji moko etesi e fana de kesi ko wulu e ake wota shi mene o ba ni je ko ji fe anale bini gadan bi elemo ke eti mo yo ye Katamanso ta mi bini afi ni mene wona kuni yili ne mene wo bai o ba yeri bi ko no ba yeri ne no ni afi na agba ha mo ke jila mo fon ya se wo sasun ke tawo na mene wo modamu ami wo ko le mo ko ise se ku mefi mo ke no ya kanu kwale na akatu ma mene wo mo sine yi o ba yeri mo ne no ni afi na agba ha mo ke jila mo fon ya se mo fo ma ko twa lo te ke la bia me la ka mo no fi swande no ma yi duna fi ono awo bia wala yi ko wala wo ye gbonu wo ye gbe na wo fe mo atu onu be mi ke wo je no wo ye wo ko jana ajo wala yi twa ma ji na fi wono ai
fito jamo akoto brete fito jamo jana ye wude fito jamo jana ye wude fito jamo okunbo mi fito jamo jana ye wude fito jamo jana ye wude fito jamo jana
seasonal beauties. Neji afi o fe wole ake gamu o yo dele oye umo ke gadangu ya fi gbeja no tuna to nu o fe wole nu o bokati lawe ka shishi bi neji numba wodi menu wojo afi shishi wogbe wo dona ya ne ke ya le wo wa wonye me ke dan tuna tijamu kamo kamo gamashi Agbenela osu teshi agbenela teke wa akpo agbene pampranke ningu wonyeme adambe o ifa no le ake wonyeme oni yo ko ibe ni ji dan bi ko bi ke ni wa me ya me ko jana to emi ni wo fe wo afi gbe ya no to mi wo fe won kai wa ancestors ke me ni ba try adan bi ke mashi she will have press conference then Shanine on the 7th of August, this year 2024, Gborbu after almost 3 years, we more back Katamanso now within 26 which I feel you know 200 years. You know, for almost about 3 years, Sherry Moba, Kena, Numo, Yake, Kitana Shan, Kitana Aka, Yake Shale, Ke Abueli, Abashan, the Kakefu. Shin Kitana Aka, ne Aka Tuna Kentumone, not true Gborbu, ni Mojipi, Udasi. Yakomia mi can be a Tajima watching about any bio in need. Or now maybe near for 3 years and what 2 in need, Comia. She this year I show 2 years. Chemefe, you see, I can make a damn way of or Nungua, even though Mofemo wa not a trata, wonu kwa ke ko fe no ko krede ne ke kai o cheme ke la na hwishi ya ke kaje nutumo na atu ye momomi pote shwe ba this time wole ya ke gabuye wole ya ke mene mo wonu yo wole ya ka safotu na yo wole ya ke wonye me dangwe bi ho ama afina me yo ke ni bi ne ke afi ni efe ibaba no ya ke no ni ba no ke kita na kan ye wonye me ashanti me ye commencer na me ba ame kita jake ala so ye shpone ni ayo se woko alo ayo ke woko sun no ewo hia ake ne hwe afi enyo ni akwa tu ne ke nutumo ne akai chebe fe ni yo bi ewo gbogbo mo ke won che ametu ne ke nutumo ne wala ke ni watu pe be wo ke heli ake le Jehovah Lord of the Katanga state ni gakukwa na no fe footprints ni je naji ke ni je magie fe ano na nya tu kusu ne bebe e ka heli wo fe won gadangbe fe sha ke be hwa afie ko ni mo fe mo ko e no ko fi mo ko no fi lele ogbe na ke wo gbe na wo fe wo yo su ake wonye me mu bi who was significant in 1826 battle meji adote Gborbu nichi mo ni chu amame yo si no kai ame pe mo fu no gbogbo mo fi kusu pe enye ke kai mo fe mo wo na mo fi mo shin to mo ni serebo ni yegbe ni ke wo gbe na o fe wo mi se mi wo no ake wo ni mi o ku bi ye jenu wako alo Katamanso she CP Mantse Palace ni ayafie we decided that if I respond to noni Gborbu shiche ke himeji afie we money ke fon pa no Nungua Manklalo ni vice president de ha Nungua traditional council ke he wonche ke Nungua ma fe Gborbu omo na ke be mo sha ni no mi mo na wi emi ke historical records both kusumi ke no na ma fe ba le wo ke wo shile na kai yino ni ba amba na la ke be na ka jibo ni yo le wo chebe e wo iwale ake be mene woche ne ke shita mo ne ko ni noni woni ye ife wonya wo ke fo pa di fe mu wo awi shi ke 200 years e she o ke fe ma fo won wo kai o man bi fe ke gadan bi fe ja ke shi Katamanso ta di mo mi tu no gadan bi ne fe wo ala is ni ba wa ni ji achime ikwa peme akwa mu me ke wonye me fanti ke denchara bi ke wonye me dangbe me ke gadangbe imagine fe ni amawa na ke twane keta ne ke wonye me British ni amwa me bawa ni aketu ne ke nitu mode mukometo nye ko ke fo no ake ikumeto yitu 200 years e wa pa faida no ba kan ni ye dani 200 years e ba she ke mukometo ke fo no ake shi man imagine fe ni bawa ija me no la blam won kai garan mi fe no la blam e ake mo fe mo ku ke ni ba trata na eku e ye no ku ke de ni tu wo bogometo nye kwa careful no ta she bi ni wo cheme ke woni me bui ye ta mi ju ba de che me konkuru me oni o gadan gbe ni fe ko ni to ye ke onye na chi me akwamu me akwapim me fanteme British ke ni bi awa me oku me bui ye wo mo gbeto nye ko ke 200 years e she wo fe ke tuidro wo ba atu ne ke kusu ne no ke kaya me chimo no ni sana wo ke ma bi fe wo ba ni ma bi fa ni wo kankre wo aka ne brofo ni e ake wo ko ba ga me hu me ma bi gangbe bi fa no no wo so ba ba yo 1826 Katamanso ta Homo kai responded by the office of the Nungua Manklalo of Repon Nungua the Alabi Jing 86 who also that as the Nungua vice president ke ha Nungua traditional council press statement on the 15th of August 2024. Greetings to you, our brothers and sisters in the media, and seasonal greetings to all Gadangmes. We wish you afi adebadi na woni pa fe pa no bra. Eba she were here. It is unfortunate that in a festive period like this, we should be discussing issues of honor in memory of our forebears. We rather have to begrudgingly respond to a recent press held by our brother, the former Honorable Minister, who is today known as Katamanso Mantse, on certain uninformed claims concerning the spiritual preparation of the historic Katamanso War of 1826. The office of the Nungua Manklalo find it necessary to address these falsehoods with the seriousness they deserve. We thought our brother would have personally taken steps to meet the Gborbu overlord of the Kadangme state to discuss any reservations he may have had. But since he chose the media, we are obliged to use the same medium to respond to him. First and foremost, the Katamanso Homo under the auspices of the Gborbu in Nungua on the 7th of August 2024 was not to spite our Ashanti brothers, neither was it done to discredit the various allies, i.e. the entire Gadangme towns from Gamashi, Usu, La, Teshi, Nungua, Toma, Boom, Pampram, Lingo, Adam, and our Gadangme brothers. The Shai and then the Gborbus. Also, not to mention our Chim brothers, the Akwamus, the Ekrapims, the Fantis, and then also the British who also aided in this particular process. This is not done to belittle any spiritual activity or preparations done by any other, as I've mentioned above, but to honor the heroes and to commemorate the spiritual preparation done by then Gborbu Shiche, Numo Botedin, within the Gborbuko before the warriors depart to the battlefield. Interestingly, the battle which began at Dodowa, successfully ended at the Pinkwai Katamanso within the Nungua traditional area, and which to state unequivocally that the Katamanso war was indeed spiritually prepared within the sacred Gborbuko. Because as I've indicated earlier on, the battle did not start on or within Nungua. It started way at the top of Dodowa, through the Dodowa forest, through Oyibi, finally ending at Katamanso. And for that particular reason alone, we believe and trust that the prayers that was done and the preparation that was done by the Gborbu brought the battle to Nungua lands, where the 99 deities of Nungua were in full force. The Gborbu Shiche, as the overlord of the Gadangme state and the custodian of the Gborbuko, rightfully performed the rite to remember the spiritual preparation made within the Gborbuko, to fortify the warriors and to honor the fallen heroes of the Katamanso War of 1826. The suggestion that this spiritual preparation took place in the Afie in Katamanso was not only untrue and a lie, but a gross distortion to our history, which must be readdressed unapologetically. Our brother Nin stated that the fortification and spiritual preparation of the historic Katamanso War of 1826 were made at the grove of the Afie deity in Katamanso. This is not true. If he cares to know, Afie is not a war deity. Afie is not a war deity. And I want to repeat that again. Afie is not a war deity. Afie stands for fertility and love. Also the wife of many senior deities within the entire Gadangbe state. She is a wife to many. In the Ga Palance, it is referred to as Gborbu. Afie Gborbu ni. Ume umfana apa. Wakele yata. Oto kele yata. Me bumunu yata. Me taflache. Aba yobo etash. As referred by MJ Field, social organization of the Gan people, page 86. We call it page 86. Ubana no ni MJ by Afie. Moreover, the Afie deity at the Katamanso is under the spiritual jurisdiction of the Gborbu, who is a rightful custodian. Hence, even if it was true that the spiritual preparation took place at Afie now in Katamanso, it is still under the spiritual leadership of the Gborbu. But having known the spiritual role of the Afie deity, the Gborbu will not and cannot use Afie to prepare for the battle. Hence, we are saying that his claims are false and he should not mislead the Gadangbe people. We want to state that before the commencement of the Katamanso War, spiritual preparations were conducted across the entire Gadangbe state, with a significant rite performed at the Sakumono Fio Toshishi in Gamashi. However, the Sakumono deity, which was instrumental in the war, has its roots in the Gborbu. Reference once again, referring to C.C. Randolph, History of the Gold Coast and Ashantis, page 10. It is clearly stated there, the rightful owners and the first worshipper of the Sakumono deity. We all know and we can attest by tradition and customs of the Gadangbe people that the Gborbu does not cross the Peishi to Gamashi. Hence, any rites that are being performed at the Sakumono Tushishi in Gamashi, he performs sale within the Gborbu. More recently, we cannot attest that the Sakumono Mpa in Tema attests to this fact in his audio recorded by one of our brother Nungua, which he stated that the Sakumono, that the Sakumono Mpa, which is being worshipped by the people of Tema, belongs to the people of Nungua, and that Sakumono Fio in Gamashi is also falls in line. Also, it is well documented in the social organization of the Gan people by Professor M.J. Field page 138, that Numo Blabijegi, or Ni Blabijegi, the first Manklalo of Nungua, who was by then the senior Gborbu Labia to the Gborbu Moshite Numo Botedi, took his Manklalos to Okansha to the Katamanso War. The reason why every year before the Oibi Yam Festival, the Nungua Manklalo does sprinkling of special meal in Nungua ancestral homes and ends at the Royal Cemetery of the Amanfan quarters to feed all our ancestors and fallen heroes in remembrance of their courage and resilience in time of war like the Katamanso War. It will be very unreasonable to assume that the Nungua Manklalo Blacks too went to the war without fortification by the then Gborbu Shiche Numo Botedi. We challenge our brother to produce any record in history written by any other Blacks too or any other performance within Nungua that was used or was taken to the Katamanso War. If there is any record to indicate such, because on record it is clearly stated that the first Nungua Manklalo took his Blacks to the Katamanso Ta, which is the Katamanso War of 1826. Let me emphasize that this is not to inspire any of the men of valor like Ni Adote Gbobilo of Ni Mwewe, who distinguished themselves during the war. The Katamanso War will be just 200 years in 2026. And the event of this war are well captured in our oral and written histories, as well as our play, Otu, May and Akon songs, for any serious royal in Nungua to miss. As I've indicated earlier on, the oral history is well captured within our tradition, custom, practices, and usages, and it can be found within our play, our Otu, our May, and Akon songs. During our festivals, you will hear them clearly. And that any meaningful or any other person that touts himself as a royal from Nungua should know and know it clearly, because your attendance to our traditional events will teach you when these songs are being sung, will teach you and let you know the true history. But you can't just hit your stomach or hit your chest and claim things which are not true, because the written history and the oral history will expose you. You will not sit down aloof and allow at this current stage that we are for any person to use chronism to claim things which are false. That will not happen. We will not accept it. If you come 1,000 times, we will come 1,000 times with facts. We will refer to the books. We will refer to our tradition too as well. It's rather unfortunate. Furthermore, our brother's assertion that the gallant Asantini Osaya Akuto was killed during the war is utterly false. All the books does not claim so. Because in 1826, the colonial masters were around. Everything was documented. They were part of the battle. The British were part of the battle. Well documented. Asantini Osaya Akuto was not killed. He was not killed during the battle. Historical records and oral traditions clearly stated that the leader of the Ashantis, Asantini Oseya Akoto, was shot and wounded by our brother from Wewe, Adote Gborbu. Whilst in his palanquin, he was not killed immediately like he asserted. Indeed, it's very imperative to note that historical records have stated that the Ashantis even lost their bodies too during this particular battle, but they have to regroup, reinforce. If not to lose the battle, the unifier of the Ashanti state have to be captured. Rightfully, they regrouped and got their bodies too back, which stands as a unifier for our brothers. Katamanso town was founded way before the war was called Aviam, which is kin to Aviam in Nungua. If you are fully informed or well informed about the history of the people of Nungua, you know that we have Numo, which is salty water, and then we have Numba, which is fresh water. We have Ariam in Nungua, and you also know, as I've indicated, that the area where the final battle of 1826 happened was called Ariam. It was after the war that is referred to as Katamanso. So you will know. Ariam is a Dangbe. It's a Dangbe word. And everybody can go or search the meaning of it. After the war, the town was handed over to the Ajinwi people of Nungua. Quite after the war, Neoclay, the then Nungua Mantse, placed two men, our brother mentioned, in charge as caretakers under the express direction of the British government, Gborbu, overlord of the Gadangbe state, and the Gamantse, as it had at the time become an heritage site. And you can know that in more recent times, our brothers from Teshi, our brothers from La, and almost everybody within the Gadangbe state have some level or portions of properties along that area, because after the battle, it became a property of the government, as the war was led by the then Gamantse. The British government asked that it has to be preserved as such. But then Gamantse asserted that, look, it is within the jurisdiction of the Nungua people, and that the Nungua Mantse should take full responsibility of ensuring that the site is an heritage site. The question that we need to even ask ourselves, whether that has been kept even up to date by the custodians and the people that we've entrusted to keep the Pinkwine forest. Is the Pinkwine forest alive? Or it has been shared among people? Another lie through his state, in the statement that the Ashantis came to Katamanso unannounced, and that the people of Katamanso spotted strangers on their land and sent words to the Nungua Mantse, who then sent words to other chiefs in other towns together at Katamanso for the war is a complete false and not true. Please, our brother me, Nana Osei Yao Akoto made his intention clear to attack, defeat, and push the Gadangbe people or the Gadangbes inside the belly of Kanflan, which is the smallest fish in the sea. The smallest fish in the sea is called Kanflan. How did Nanaya Osei Akoto being within the middle belt and Ashanti king got to know the name of the smallest fish in the sea? Because he had conquered Fanti brothers with the British and gotten the title Bonsu, Nana Bonsu. The first time Ashanti king got the name Bonsu after conquering the Fanti and the British. Asked what is the biggest fish in the sea. He said the name of the biggest fish is called Bonsu. He said, I've conquered everybody at the coast, so now you can add Bonsu to my title. That was the very first time and Ashanti Hini had the title Bonsu. After our Gadangbe brothers from Mashi, who had within themselves Fantis who went to aid in the Asamakwa War. Then Otunfo, who has had the title Bonsu to his name, declared that after the guns have aided the Fantis, he will show the guns a big lesson they will never forget by wiping us off the surface on the earth and pushing us. Ask, what is the name of the smallest fish? Now that I've taken onto myself the name of the biggest fish in the sea, what is the smallest fish in the sea? They told him that the biggest fish, as I've indicated, is called Bonsu. He said, if the biggest fish is Bonsu, then be Bonsu. Then he asked, what is the smallest fish? They say it's called Kanflan. I say, the smallest fish in the sea, I'll push them into the belly of Kanflan. They will not even be known. Can form of Bijibo no you Kanflan, or when I can Kanflan ashi for me not the fake na Bonsu bay. One day to the equalingi imitate befiu ni da fiu ile bibiu. Okay, I met you out Kanflan Musu me. Kashi go put in chair. Gamepube Equibuna Bana. And it is well documented. Our brother cannot claim that they were in Katamanso and then they saw some strangers on the land, and then seeing the strangers on the land, he informed Nungua, and then Nungua informed the other Gadangbe towns. It is well documented. It is well documented. Right after the Battle of Asamakwa War of 1824, thus it took 2 years of fervent preparation on both sides before August 1826. Before August 1826, all of us well documented that our Ashanti brothers will come and attack us. Because we had Fantis who have been assimilated into our Fuwas gangs, went to support the Ashanti brothers during the Asamakwa War. The Asantini then declared that he will attack Gadangbe. Unfortunately, getting to Kumasi, he passed on. His brother, who is the Asantini Osei Akoto, vowed to continue the war. Because before the Asamakwa War, Ghana Dangbes have a very fruitful relationship with our Ashanti brothers. Least did they know that during a battle between themselves and the Fantis and the British, we will go and then support the Fantis. But it was no fault of ours. We went because we have already assimilated within our fold our Fanti brothers. What is their name? The Atofos of Gamashi. The Abolas and the Fantis who were in our midst. Because of them, they had to go and support the Fantis to fight the Ashantis. Now we have assimilated them into our fold. We also have to follow them to break the relationship that we had with our Ashantis. That got our Ashanti brothers mad, and they decided to attack us. So nobody can change our history. It is clearly stated. Even though Nana Osaya Yakuto, upon further oracles that were performed in Kumasi, the oracles indicated to him that no, if you descend to Accra, you will lose. If you descend to Accra, you will lose the battle. But looking at his sheer numbers, because by then the Ashantis can be equated to any foreign force because they can raise huge numbers when it comes to their army. As indicated on records, they came to Accra with 44,000. 44,000 can be raised within the either the British or the Germans or even the white soldiers. The whole country can even raise 30,000. Ashantis alone can raise 44,000 men to come and fight. So looking at his sheer numbers, he knew that even if the oracle says that when it comes to Accra, he's going to lose that particular battle. Looking at his numbers, he can defy the oracle direction and then come to Accra. Indeed, it is stated clearly that Accra and Gamashi and the entire Gadangbe state, which included all the Ghana towns and our allies, the Achims, the Ekrapims, the Akwamus, the Fantis and the British, raised only 11,000. Only 11,000 soldiers. Compared to their numbers 44,000. It is almost 4:1. Definitely he is coming to Accra to clear us off. Indeed, our other Akan brothers who came to aid the process, it is well documented that they wanted their independence from the Ashantis. It is clearly stated that right after the Katamanso war, that is why you can see some of our Akan brothers celebrating Udra and all those things, because our brothers came with all those deities that were captured. And later it has become a festival for our Kwapin brothers, and almost all our Akan brothers have some celebration whatsoever in connection to the 1826 battle, because they wanted their independence from the Ashantis, who were then dominating everywhere. Nobody has conquered them before, in which we respect them for that feat. But indeed, our ancestors, our forebears, stood on their grounds. If it is not because of the Homo preparations that was done within the Gborbu and across the entire Gborbu and across the entire Gadangbe state in preparation of the battle. So our brother cannot say that they were in Katamanso and they saw some strangers. The war did not start from Katamanso. The war started way beyond Dodowa, entered into the Dodowa forest, proceeded through Oyibi and all those towns into the Katamanso Pinkwai forest, which is well documented. We will not sit aloof. He is my former boss. I respect him as such. But we will not sit aloof for anybody to distort, to misrepresent the Gadangbe people on the sacrifices that our forebears have done for us to be where we are today. It's sacrilegious. okay, Manchile. The Kadambes and allied forces knew of the pending war. This was the reason the troops of Nungua and others defied Governor Brooks' orders to remove from their towns and encamp with their main body in July 1826, as recorded and in reference by C.C. Randolph, History of the Gadang of the Gold Coast and Ashanti's page 207. It is sad that the Pinkwai forest, which should be preserved as heritage site for generations to come, have been razed down and sold out to developers by our brothers that are in Katamanso. This should be a serious concern to him. But no, he rather attacked the Gborbu overall the Ghanaian state for remembering the Homo at the Gborbu. We call on all meaning Gadangis who cares about our Katamanso heritage to help rescue the remains of the Pinkwai forest, because we all know it is there for all of us to see that the Pinkwai forest right now, as I sit down here, as Nungua form Nungua, I cannot even quantify or see or know where the Pinkwai forest was. It is for him and all those that claims that Katamanso belongs to them to prove to us and to show us the size of the Pinkwai forest as indicated by the British government, and then the government and the Gborbu to be preserved as such. It is not even there for us to see. As for his claims that the chief of Katamanso, he expected to be notified by the Gborbu overall the Ghanaian state before the Homo came. We want to tell all Gadangis that Neo to Akwete, the recognized Mantse of Katamanso, has not been declared dead, neither he abdicated from his stool, hence no one else can be installed as Katamanso Mantse. That's what I should be. One man could dash you. That feel like three actually dash you. What if you Katamanso Mantse dash you? I can do one. No. Well, now we could soon now we could soon touch on it. Dashing me. What if you Katamanso Mantse dashing me? Okay, I feel Katamanso Mantse dashing me. Que pictures here? I don't know where. I came back home. Okay. He should answer his family from Ajinwe, who are seeking to know the whereabouts of the Katamanso Mantse. No to Akwete. Since there has not been any announcement or proclamation of his death, nor has any right been performed to declare the stool vacant, his purported installation was conducted on a Sunday. It's nothing but one of the many affronts of Gadangwe traditions, custom practices and usages, which all right-meaning Gadangwes must condemn. Must talk no of your way. I too much over. You got done with them. I too much over. You got done with them. I too much over. You don't wash home. Yake hoba Gborbu. Mo fẹ́ mo ní ọ̀nù wa yake hoba Gborbu. Gborbu atun jema won ko yeni. Atun jema won ko yeni hoba ye Nungua mane. Atun ni hu ye Nungua mane. Aye bai ye Nungua shikone apart from Ashani apart from Gborbu lo le Gborbu mo le pe le fi okusun oba gbogbo fe okusun oba le Nungua shikone e ja ke Mantse to ke o to Mantse se ku na ke to Mantse won ku na ke to Mantse ku be na ke won ku to wule Mantse ku be na ke se ku to wule na kan se eye gbu na kan se na ka to bu Mantse na kan se eye gbu won na ke to bu Mantse na kan go ohun eye gbu Nungua shikone no Gborbu pe atu emi tu oba meni fita ina afi kusu efe amele kemi jile mata wo musewe ya ke awo mi dun awo mi ko dun no we won ba mi ko wo ke ma bi fe ake gadangbe kusu ke gbajano tuwe o ke nyamu fimo aka fiti wo kusu we boni cheme ame chanfolé na agboye ke boni atole ke ha bonu obanale bible le cheke ake do not change or shift the ancient landmarks say boni atole no ni Yesu Kristo po igen ke ko ife ni fe mi boni banale ma fe le mi. Finally, the timing of Israel installation is another affront to our customs and tradition. This is because per our tradition, as a people of Nungua, it is sacrilegious to conduct asafo and Mantse installation activities on any Nungua land when the sacred corn Adaibi is sprinkled. During the Nungua festival, such actions shows a complete disregard for or lack of knowledge of our tradition and an unacceptable level of disrespect to ancestors and deities. Is our brother suggesting that whenever other Gan or Gadangbe town makes reference to Katamanso, permission must be sought from him? No. No, that is a big no. Was he stated in his statement that mekumeke ka akankita acho Katamanso ke nibi oh ka flash Katamanso me achebe ya gbo ejo du ba deche mini tashi de ake teche ni bote kofi franco ni die no Manklalo shorotaro ko ibi gonte Mantse inni ni bla bi jege ike wo se Manklalo se ike te wo kema fi loko ke kai inni bla bi jege ni Nungua fe pe ye powulu no Nungua fe pe ye powulu no nega lugu wo nunke wo yota ni wo ko be do moshia gadan bebi ni wo ko be do moshia wonyema asante na ke wota ye ko ulu no ni ye ko no to na na ba fa ke ba ya ta shishi ke ba je oyibi dodo wa ite ngbe ale ake wo ba wu ni ejeme ke be fa le se ni mi fe do ko ken ka ile ya bi Katamanso bi agbena. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the famous Katamanso War was a success due to the fact that all Gadangbe's participated. The gallantry of the many Gadangbe warriors granted us victory. Therefore, all of Gadangbe can claim remembrance of Katamanso, more so during the proceedings of the Tema Nungua Pinkwailand disputes as captured in the Kodan report of 1904, page 101. The then King Odaifio mentioned that he came to succeed King Bokete-Lawe, who entered the sea when matters arose over Katamanso Pinkwailand issues between Tema, La, and Nungua. Again, it must be noted that in the suit number J4/13/2023, most recently, when our brother Nim was a defendant to the case, stated Gborbu was entitled to tolls from occupants of Katamanso Pinkwailand. He himself, our brother, who did the presser recently, he himself, in the case at the Supreme Court, indicated within his claims that the Gborbu was claiming tolls and also entitled to tolls from occupants of the Katamanso Pinkwailand. Why today, after going to Supreme Court to claim that Gborbu here or to many more Katamanso score of Gborbu here to no my own claim your case and stated why many you was no disrespect Gborbu okay if you could remembrance. You want to inform me and his cohorts that Katamanso Homo Kai did not start this year. However, it was made public this year due to the pending 200 years of the battle. We urge all Gadangbe's people, to disregard the misleading statement made by our brother and demand that he sees this is an attempt to undermine the integrity and authority of the Gborbu overall the Gadangbe state. The truth stands clear, and we will not tolerate any further attempts by anybody to distort our history and traditional practices and usages. Thank you. Obrigado, Manklalo, 6. Nungua Manklalo, Vice President of the Nungua Traditional Council, as read by Teacher Nungua Kofi, Franpa II, Nungua Manklalo from Otago, and OEB, Gborbu, Mantse. Thank you very much. Okay.
Slow,